coming into 2022 and the years to come, I think we are really going to start to understand the Earth on a soul level. I think more people are going to open up to the fact that we don't know everything about this planet. There's a lot of mystery to this planet we live on, and we think that we've gotten all the answers just because we've been using her resources the way we have for so long, but I think she's really going to impress us in some unimaginable ways within the next coming years.
Well, one of the things that might seem kind of weird, but it was very real for me, about going to the center of the Earth. The first time that happened, we were traveling, and we were in one of the big mountains. We had a little cabin type thing. It was very cozy and everything. So I fell asleep. But then when I fell asleep, it's like I went into this other place that had kind of been tickling me around my head for a while. I found myself like at an opening, and there was like a stairway, but it wasn't really a stairway, more like a going down. And I went down a bit and down a bit and down a bit, and then through the water. So first we had to go down into the middle of ourselves, of who we are, what we're doing here. Okay, and then they had these wonderful pools of water that were just like heaven. And then we laid there, and then the water is what allowed us to like release. And you felt like you were being cleaned up from the inside of yourself. And then we went down again, deeper and deeper and deeper. And then we were like in the core of Gaia. We were in the core of Earth. And there were people there that were waiting for us. There was this great group of really friendly humanoids, but you couldn't really call them humans. They were like humanoids. And we had to be still and allow ourselves to not think, but to just respond, to be able to allow our own higher self to tell us what we needed to do right then. Then all these different memories came through, memories from the past, memories from the future. It came in my sleep, but it came in my sleep because I was in that place. So have you ever visited any of those places that just took you away like that?
There were several times in my sleep where I went to what people call Telos, which is under Mount Shasta. That's where the Lemurians are. That's where they went after the continent of Mu, Lemuria, ended up sinking. And I remember I could feel myself, like I could feel myself there, and I could feel how different it felt as compared to, walking in the grocery store, walking to work. It had a sense of purpose to it. There was this like aura of intentionality, a knowingness that this is a place I was supposed to be at, a place I was supposed to be seeing. There was one time in particular where I went to Egypt in the meditation, and it started off going in a starship first. It was me and another person. The starship took us to Egypt, dropped us off in, people call it, I guess, the Hall of Amonti. It's where they keep all of these Akashic records and files and such. And so I saw myself walking in these, they looked old, but they were so clean, these ancient hallways underneath the pyramids. And we were opening up these books, these tablets that were there. And in the days to come after that meditation, I actually did end up getting insight onto how the third eye can function at a higher level, how we can interface better with the Earth and with the Galactics, and what it means to be a physical being but a soul having a human experience.
Having a human experience. That's perfect, because that's really what we are. I think more and more people are beginning to think that way. There's just something about the nowness, and it's hard to really say what it is.
I agree. I think more people are going to start to open up to that. It's when you hit that point of just pure awareness, like you're just in that state of you're just pure consciousness. You're not your ego, you're not your mind or your thoughts. You can observe all of that and feel all of it, but there's this subtle detachment that comes in when you're able to go inside and get quiet with yourself. And I think that's one of the best ways that we can feel ourselves as spirit having a human experience.
Yes, because we came down here and we took on third dimensional bodies, but the third dimensional bodies couldn't resonate to those higher frequencies of our true self. So we have to, meditate and do all these different things we have to do to be able to put those together, to put that frequency of reality with our physical body. It can be challenging. Sometimes it's difficult to do. More and more people, if they could just be still for a while and be receptive for a while, that their higher self will give them the information that's for them. It's for each person to find what it is that they're being called to, basically to create. It's about creation, don't you think? Yeah, maybe you could talk a little bit about that creation.
I love that because we're not just repeating cycles at this point. We came here to break that stagnation apart and to build and create something better, something with a stronger foundation. And that better and stronger foundation is in a higher frequency. But yes, it's really about getting in touch with your higher self. I agree.
Yes. Finding who we truly are in our core. So then we can allow our core to expand itself out further and further and further. And then it'll be in our human self. And then as we fully adapt to that, then we can start moving into our galactic self. That's what Gaia needs. Gaia needs to know that she is finally getting taken care of in the way that she really needs, because she wants to move on. She doesn't need to be a third dimensional planet anymore. She's ready to go into a higher frequency planet. But it's about thinking about the planet not as a big rock, but as an energy field. The planet is an energy field, and that energy field can expand into higher and higher frequencies when it is necessary.
I like that image of the planet as an energy field. Just like the planet is an energy being, we are energy beings as well. So we're like energetic spokes, if you will, then also can connect to what's beyond the planet as well. So it makes sense that so many of us would come from these different star systems, or maybe we've been incarnating on Earth for a while and we're just open to connecting with other systems, other beings. That, in and of itself, is another energy field. The Arcturians, the Pleiades, or Pleiadians, these are all energy fields as well. So we as humans, we're becoming the bridges of these energetic fields that are out in the universe and also beneath our feet.
And then also in the desert of the pyramids, that's a really high energy field. It's kind of like all these different parts of Gaia they all have jobs, just like, it's a big corporation. Everyone in the corporation has their own job. And so all these different parts of the planet, they have their job, what it is that they do. And one of the things that they are teaching humans, but it's really hard to teach humans, is that the more people that are gathered together in oneness, the more powerful everything is. But the challenge with that, there is no better, there is no worse. It's not like, oh, well, we're the top ones and you're the bottom ones. It's like, no, we are all one. And it seems like I say that a lot at the end of our conversation, but I think that the Arcturians tell me to say it. That's their thing. The Arcturians, it's like, hey, we're all one here. What is this fighting with each other stuff? It's like there's no reason for that. It doesn't help anything or anyone. Yeah.
No, you're absolutely correct. At the end of the day, it's like if you've ever seen like that big image of the universe, or what we know as the universe, like that big universal mind. We're all part of the same stuff. Like we all are part of the same energy field at the end of the day. And so the more cohesion that we build and the more in sync we can get with each other, with other systems, with other beings, then the more that this bigger energy field that we're all a part of can function at a higher level and evolve in some really unique ways. I think that's what the Galactics are mostly focused on in a broader sense. Yes, to help the Earth, but beyond that, to keep building the connections throughout the universes and throughout the galaxies.
Yes. So we are all one. We are all one. Yeah.
I'd love to end with the last thing that you said about how all the different places on the Earth have jobs. And we can think of the different power places, especially Egypt. But the Earth is connected to so many different star systems through the portals going from the core out through the surface and beyond. So I would love to hand it over to the Arcturians, because my question would be, how can people listening connect to these places on a deeper level? Maybe not necessarily going to Egypt, but how do we connect?
One of the ways that way the Arcturians have seen has been successful for the humans is if they take it from within their mind and in their heart and put it on a paper. So either take pictures or draw pictures, but somehow make it be real. Make it be your creation. And you don't know what you're going to create. That's the fun part. You're just going to say, okay, I am going to go inside of myself, and from the inside looking out, what do I see about this reality? And then make it third dimensional, however one does that. Maybe somebody will do it with clay, or maybe somebody will draw something. But just knowing that humans have the ability to take that higher frequency energy field and ground it, interface it, connect it with the planet. Gaia is getting ready to expand. And what that means is not a word that humans could really think of. They would think of it in a way that is that something gets bigger. But it's more like that expansion is that something gets clearer, that you awaken to this clarity of a feeling. That feeling, it's a directive. It's a directive coming from your own higher dimensional self and into your third dimensional self. Comes in through your crown chakra, and then your forehead, your eyes, and then it moves down to your throat and your heart chakra, and down to the stomach area, down to your legs, and then down into the feeling that you are with Gaia.